Beautiful. What's going on, guys? So super quick. This is probably gonna be a little shorter video because it is currently 11 o'clock and I have been up since. I don't know if I should be looking into the camera like this or like. Let me know if I should be looking in the camera like directly like this, or I don't know if you can tell. Like, I don't know. Anyways, this video is probably gonna be super short. I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna look directly at the camera. I'm gonna look at you guys in the face. I'm gonna make this video super quick because it's 11 o'clock at night and I've been up since 4 a.m. So, man, dude, I don't even know how to start this. I think I'm just gonna go straight into it. So, one thing that has absolutely changed my life, actually, two things that have changed my life drastically has been investing my time and my energy more in God, as well as my personal development. And I truly believe the two go hand in hand. They really do. I truly believe without God in your personal development, there is no personal development. That's just me. And it's so funny because I've always been like a sucker for wisdom. Like even as a kid, I remember like watching the movie Brave. I don't know if you guys know the movie Brave with like the archer girl, and she's like Meredith. I can't do an Irish accent, but Scottish, whatever. But I remember there was like a scene in the movie where there was like some sort of wisdom in there. And I honestly can't remember what it was, but I do remember after the movie, I was so touched by the movie and its wisdom that was drawn from the movie. I honestly, it changed my perspective on life. And I've always been like a really big sucker for wisdom, but I didn't know that I guess you could say, I didn't know the wisdom that was in the Bible. Like I've always prayed, even as a kid. It's so funny. Even as a kid, I always loved going to church. I don't know what it was, but there was something about it that always drew me to going to church. And my mom wasn't the biggest fan of going to church. I mean, I've seen my mom go to the church like maybe like once or twice. But at a certain point in time, I would always beg her, be like, hey, can we go to church? Can we go to church? And she'd be like, no, go find a ride. So I would always have to find a ride from one of my buddies to go to church. But I think what drew me so much to church was the wisdom that was in church. And it wasn't until, I want to say last year, that I started reading my Bible more and more again. And it's so ironic because I remember there was a night back in like 2014. We were trick-or-treating as kids, and we go up to this guy's house, and it was so crazy. It was the last house we were hitting for the night, and the guy gave us all Bibles. And for me as a kid, I'm like, I don't read. I'm trying to get some candy, right? But not even almost 10 years later, I want to say 9 years later, so like I want to say like 2023, I finally actually cracked open the book, the Bible, and it honestly has changed it's the perspective. It's really the perspective and wisdom that is drawn from the Bible is so unparalleled to any wisdom on earth. I truly believe that. And I absolutely, I'm so not only fascinated by it, but I'm in love with it. Because when I first started my business first taught me about personal development, but I didn't even think about interpreting my Bible with personal development. And once I started, becoming more invested into the New Testament, as well as Proverbs, as well as Kings, and the understanding of the mistakes others made, and it all just ties into whatever you want to do in life. Like I literally do not care what you want to do in this world. You can easily draw wisdom from the Bible. And I do believe that if you read your Bible every single day, like for me, I grew up around sailors, sinners, drug addicts, alcoholics, you name it. I've been around it. And I remember I used to cuss so much. So, I mean, dude, because like I grew up around sailors, you know what I mean? Like it's like saying hello, you know what I mean? Like it rolls off the tongue. And now it's like whenever I do, it's in the back of my mind, like, bro, why did you say that? It it's never occurred to me until like I started reading my Bible more and when I got baptized. So it's very funny how God can, and investing your time and your personal development more into God can change your heart and can change your life. So I think for a lot of you who probably clicked on this video, you're really trying to look for a better version of you, and you're trying to become a better version of you, right? You maybe want to have a better understanding who God is, right? And how God works and how you can get a better relationship with God. Now, I'm going to be honest, like, I don't have all the answers. I'm not one to tell you God is this, he's black and white, he accepts this, and that, he does not accept this, and that. Like, I can't, because I'm not God, right? But I will tell you, if you're looking to have a better life and have better morals and be surrounded by better people and be a better person, I highly suggest looking into the Bible. Highly suggest it. Because of what I've been able to escape just because of me having a closer relationship with God. Like, I want y'all to understand, like, I didn't grow up with, like, a fixed household. My mother worked 3 jobs. I would go weeks at a time without seeing her. Dad was in and out of my life, right? And I would sleep on the floor of my mom's friends' houses, and my mom's friends would become like my aunts. So I had like 7 aunts growing up, right? And, you know, being around all these different types of people, smoking, drinking, doing drugs. And like, dude, I remember as a kid, like my mom worked bartending, and I would always go to the bar. I would be like 5 or 6 years old, being around all these types of people. And for me, I thought it was just cool. I thought it was life. But the point I'm trying to get across is, like, I grew up in an environment full of sin. Full of sin. And I'm nowhere close to that. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I'm very, very weary with who comes in and out of my life. I have direction in which I want to go. I feel like the wisdom I have is a lot more than what most people have, especially my age in today's generation. And I'm speaking from a perspective not just from me, but from what I've heard from others. And so for those of you who are like wanting to invest more into yourself, not just like fitness, not just into your health, but mentally, spiritually, and you're very, I guess you could say, hesitant with having a closer relationship with God, just understand that once you have that, you start having a relationship with God, it doesn't get easier. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you life is going to get easier for you. If anything, it's going to get harder. And the reason why it's going to get harder is because in order for your relationship with God to become stronger, you must suffer, right? It's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym, the only way to get bigger is going through pain. If you don't go through pain, you'll never get bigger, right? And your muscles will never grow. They'll never be strong. Same thing with God and your relationship with God. In order for you to become closer with him, he's going to put you through pain, right? And I can't remember which book it is. Now, granted, I'm trying to get better at remembering which books they are, but pain draws us closer to God. It does. because at the point of where we have nothing else left but God, that's how we get closer to Him. And that's how our faith is tested, when we go through pain. So like whenever you're going through hard times, you can't ask why me, why God this, why God that. You have to see it in a perspective of God checking in on you. You have to look at it that way. Because when God tests you, it's really God saying, hey, are you still with me? Are you still there with me? Hey, I just want to make sure, I just want to make sure you didn't get too comfortable and forget I wasn't with you, because I love you, right? That's how you have to interpret it. So when something goes bad, I don't care what it is, like whether you lost a loved one, you feel depressed, you lost your job, you're broke, you're going through hard times. I don't care what situation it is, God is checking in on you. He's checking in on you and making sure the faith that you have is really true and that you're still with Him. So I will never sit here and tell anybody that having a relationship with God is easy. It's not. And it never will be. If it was, then everybody would be faithful. And your faith will be tested. Your faith will be tested. But how God has been such an important part of my life in terms of personal development, I think from the moment I started personal development, which was about 2 years ago, to now, I am easily not the same person I was. My thought process on things are completely different. I look at people differently. I don't look at women how I used to look at women. I don't cuss. I don't watch porn. None of it. Now, of course, I'm still human. I'm still a man. Like, don't get me wrong. I slip up here now and then. Like, I cuss sometimes. I get, like, if I get really... Actually, today, I was, like, pissed about something. And it just slipped out, Or, when I see a beautiful woman, right? I'm like, wow, she looks really good. But one thing I'm trying to do is switch my way of thinking. Instead of saying, wow, it's a beautiful woman, I would much rather think in my mind, like, that's a beautiful sister. Like, you have to look at it. I've been trying to look at it in that point of view. Like, women are like my sisters. They're sisters. Sisters. Right? So, and it's a process. It's a process. You'll never be perfect. You always sin. You always have the temptations. Always. That will never go away. And the best part about it is that even though it won't go away, it's a great balance, I guess you can say, because without the temptations and without the difficulties, you'll never have that faith with God. You'll never revert. It's so funny. Every single day now, like, I haven't not thought about God. Every single day. Like, every single day. Granted, I pray and read my Bible every single day. So, like, there's not a single day where I'm not thinking about Him. But it's just, even my decision making. Like, if I'm going through a difficult situation and I have to make a hard decision, I'm like, okay, God, what do you want me to do here? I mean, it's on you. Like, it's in your hands. I don't got it. But it also provides peace. It's very interesting. Like, when things go wrong, like, I remember, I can't remember what it was, but something, what was it? I remember, oh no, I was thinking about this. It was an idea. It was like a dream. And like there was a building that was on fire that I owned. And this is a dream. Okay, this didn't really happen. And I think I was daydreaming about this, which is weird. But a building that I owned, like, it was like a brick and mortar, was on fire. And instead of me being upset, like, I could see, it was weird. I could see myself in like a third person perspective. and I could see myself, and I'm smiling, and the camera person, like, who's like recording me, asked me like, Makai, why are you smiling? And I look at my cameraman and I say to him, God's just checking in on me. You know, so it's a different there's a different feeling. It's a comfort feeling, knowing that you're being taken care of in any difficulty in any time period in your life. You're constantly being taken care of. And I think it's your outlook on life. I think with God, I don't look at people as just people anymore. I look at people as God's children. Regardless of the age. Regardless of the age, I see every single individual as a child. Every single one. Like, I see every single person as it's like you know how when you look at babies and you look at like children that are between the ages of like 3 to 6 months, that's how I look at every like that feeling, not that actual like person, but the feeling of vulnerability and, I guess in a way, innocence. I see people that way. Like, these are God's children. And when you see it from that perspective, you don't really get embarrassed by the actions of other people. Like, you know how sometimes you can get that like second hand embarrassment, man, like, bro, what are you doing? Bro, oh my god, bro, what are you doing, bro? You know, like, for me, I just see it as people being human. Like, when I see, like, when I see someone, maybe like they're walking and they trip over their feet and but they continue to walk. I just like, they're human, you know. Or when someone's has their headphones in and they're on a machine and they're just bopping their head and they're singing, I'm like, humans. Or maybe two people are talking to each other and it becomes like almost like an awkward interaction. I just go like, humans. You know, I can't explain it. It's just the idea of looking at humans in a third person perspective. It's very different than from a first person perspective. It's very different. So there's a lot that has changed about me, and there has been a lot that has changed my perspective on life. And I truly, truly believe if you are starting your personal development journey, or if you're starting to look more into Christ and you want to start having a relationship with Christ, but you're skeptical, you're not sure, you're scared to be judged by others, whatever the case may be, just take it step by step, baby steps. Baby steps. Like, if you don't feel comfortable reading your Bible in front of people, okay, cool. That's fine. I used to find it weird when people say, I'm gonna pray for you. Like, I used to find that weird. But now I say it for people. Like, I'm gonna pray for her. I'm gonna pray for her. You know? Or, you know, when people used to talk about God, I used to be embarrassed by it. Like, I used to think it as weird. But now I say it all the time. You know, it's interesting how you can do a 180 in life sometimes from one opportunity or by one person, you know? So, I know this video was kind of short. I still need to edit, make a thumbnail and everything. So, but yeah, that's pretty much how I incorporate God into my personal development, and why I think it's so important, because of the person who you can become. And you know what's funny? You don't even have to be a Christian to read the Bible. It's the wisdom within the Bible that will really, really, truly paint the picture for you. And the cool thing about the Bible is that if something touches you at some point in time, it will touch you at the right time. But if you don't get it the first time around, that doesn't mean you won't get it later down the road. That's the coolest thing about it, because wisdom comes to you at the time that you need it most, not at the time for you to understand. And that's the coolest thing about it. That is the coolest thing about it. So, hope this helped you guys. For those of you who are very interested in God, Christ, or starting your personal development journey, highly suggest starting with the Bible. And also, this is going to be the last thing, because I keep going, like, I look like I'm about to close, but I'm not closing. Last thing, you can also listen to other people. Like, for me, I listen to Jim Rohn. I freaking love Jim Rohn. I love listening to him. I love listening to how he also incorporates God in a lot of his speakings. So, you know, it's really fascinating. It's very fascinating. So, I hope you guys found this video valuable. If you guys do like videos like this and want more valuable videos like this, go check out some of my other videos on this channel. And I'm gonna find a way to close this out a lot better. This is not good. We're gonna start doing this. We're gonna do the whole like camera slap thing, and we're gonna bring that back like it's like 2015 or something. So we're gonna do that for this video. It might change next video, but here we go.